So if you're just looking to get your feet wet with Sass, or if you want to work on a Sass project but don't want to worry about managing all the files on your computer, luckily, we already have Sass functionality all set up within Workspaces. So moving forward, we're going to be using Workspaces for our project. But you'll still have the option of downloading all the project files and working alongside using your favorite text editor. So I've created a new workspace, and this is where we're going to refactor our project. And you can simply launch the workspace associated with this video to follow along. So I'm going to take all the files inside our Lake Tahoe project folder. So I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to drag them over to the left sidebar in Workspaces. And what this does is it uploads our project files to the current workspace. All right, so all our files are up, and if we preview our project, we can see that everything still looks good, and it's working just like it was on our desktop. Great. So in the Workspace console here, the watch command works exactly the same way it did earlier in Terminal or your command prompt. So to have Sass begin watching our project and compiling to CSS, down here in the Workspace console, we'll need to type the command sass watch scss:/CSS, then hit enter. And as we're working on our project, you'll also notice this Sass cache folder that appears. So what is this? Well, this is just an extra folder Sass creates on its own to speed up the compiling of Sass to CSS by caching parts of our Sass code. So now that we know what it is, we don't really need to mess with it moving forward. In fact, we can delete it, and it's not really a big deal. So I'm just going to leave it in our project. Okay, so let's run a quick test to see if everything's compiling correctly. It's important to remember that at this point, we shouldn't edit our output CSS. So we'll go over to the SCSS directory and bring up the style.scss file. So let's just scroll down and change one of the styles. So for example, I'm going to add a red background color to the body. So let's say background, red, and let's save and compile our Sass file. And we'll refresh the browser. And yep, there's the red background body color. All right, so that means everything's good. Now, before we move on, let's set our background color back to normal. So I'm just going to undo that, save and compile, refresh. And there we go. So now we've officially converted our project over to Sass. And if we wanted to, we can leave our Sass project alone and call it a day, right? But let's not do that, because then this course would be over, and that would be kind of sad. But what we really want to do next is take advantage of all of Sass's powerful features. Now that we have our Sass project all set up inside Workspaces, it's time to start refactoring our CSS with Sass. Up next is where we'll introduce the real power of Sass into our workflow, and we'll go over the steps we need to take to convert our existing style sheet over to Sass.